Hello, welcome back to another Quick Truth. My name is Derek Truesdell. This week we're going to cover 5 traits that will help you in your spiritual walk. So, let's get to it. This week we're covering 5 traits that will help you in your spiritual walk, and we draw these from Ephesians 4, specifically verses 1 through 3. And I'll read those verses quickly. They say, I, therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you have been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. So we're going to walk through that passage there and see 5 traits that we can use in our spiritual walk. First, I want to cover that these traits, even if we master them, do not bring us salvation. They don't give us spiritually anything. We already have all of that. And that's what Paul is sure to stress in all of this. He says, therefore, do these things. And the therefore is because he's already established the truth that we already have everything in Christ. We have all the riches. We have everything that we could ever need in Christ. And because of that, we do these works. We learn these traits. And we have this humility, etc. And we don't do the things, we don't master the traits to have salvation. We do these things because we already have the salvation. So that's very important. We don't want to confuse the two. We don't want to do our actions and think that that's okay by itself. We don't want to just have the ideas of spirituality and not have any actions. That's wrong as well. And we don't want to do the actions, then have ideas. So informed actions. So now, let's jump into the 5 traits that help us in our spiritual walk. The first is be humble. And that's basically just putting other people above you, not thinking about yourself only and making your goals the most important goals. Think of other people first, more important than you. Imagine a basketball team where everyone wants to make the shot. So you get the tallest guy gets the rebound on the other end of the court. He doesn't want to pass it to anybody because he doesn't want to miss his chance to take the shot. So he dribbles a little bit unsteadily, loses control of the ball once, catches it again, and just tosses the ball the full court when there was no need to do that at all. And he misses the shot, obviously, and gives the ball to the other team. If that keeps occurring, he's probably going to get taken out of the game because he's thinking of himself only. He's not thinking of the other people in the team, and they're not going to win anything. So in the church, we should be doing the same thing. If we can learn this trait of humility, we can help other people in the church, and we should be thinking of them as higher than ourselves. So that's the first trait. The second trait is to be gentle. And this, in the original culture where Paul's telling them to do this, in the Greek culture, it's not good to be gentle. It's kind of looked down on. And if you're nice to people, that was not good in that culture. And so you would be considered a weak person, not to be taken seriously. And so for him to tell that is kind of revolutionary. And it's kind of it might be similar to our culture in a way. If you're gentle and you're nice to people, sometimes people will take advantage of that. And people will look down on you as weak. And that's something we just kind of have to take in stride. We can be spiritually strong enough to know that that's not, the important thing. The important thing is that we are showing the spiritual traits and we get spiritual rewards for that. So that's the second one, be gentle. The third is to be patient. And it's easy to be patient with yourself, right? If you make a mistake, you start to think through what was the excuse? Why did I do this thing this way? Like, why did I mess up? And you think of all the excuses. Why, you've had a bad day. It's just been not a great week. Your allergies are making your face hurt right now, and so you're being mean. We're very patient with ourselves, but we're not always as patient with other people. Like when someone else makes a mistake, I tend to, not give them this, excuse that I give myself and just say, oh, you should have got it right the first time. So we should be willing to extend that same patience that we give ourselves to them as well when they mess up. And we should do this because God gives us patience. He's patient with us, so we should be giving that same patience to other people. So that's the third thing, be patient. The fourth trait that we can learn for our spiritual walk is to bear with one another in love. And a way to put this in practice is when someone messes up and they are saying sorry to you, if that person's trying to change to be a better person, like if this is something they're working on, we should bear with them on that. We should be understanding, because we know, those of us who have tried to make changes in our own lives, know that it's difficult. I can imagine, I know for a fact that I've tried to do runs in the morning, and getting up in the morning, it's just hard to do. You're tired. You don't want to do this. This is the last thing on your list you want to do is run. But just getting out and doing it is very difficult. And especially the beginning of trying to run, is the changing of your schedule, and anything in life like that. Just changing is difficult. So those of us who have tried to change things in the past know that it's difficult. And so if we see someone else trying to change for the better, have patience with them, bear with them, because you know that it's hard. So let them have the space to experience these things as well. And then also just remembering that everyone's on a journey. Everyone's going through things and circumstances that you can't see. They all have their own battle. So we should bear with each other, bear with another person's burdens, and help them along, even though they might make mistakes. We should bear with them and help them through those things. So that's the fourth thing. And the fifth and last trait is to be eager to maintain unity. And we see this even from Jesus himself, because Jesus prays in John 17:20-21 for the church to have unity. And we can see that in these verses here. He says, "I do not ask for these only, but also for those who will believe in me through their word, that they may all be one, just as you, Father, are in me and I in you." So he's saying he's praying for the church to be one and have unity, like how the Trinity of God has unity, like the Son and the Father have unity, almost uncomprehendable unity. So that's the kind of unity we should be having, and that's what we want to be working into reality. And as we will see in the next couple of verses, we're all in one body. We're in one church. We all share the same spirit, one spirit. And that's the type of unity that already exists through Christ, and Jesus gives that, and we need to live that. We need to bring it into reality in the church. And this is how we do it, these 5 ways. And at the end here, it tells us that the bond of peace and love is what keeps all of this together. If we can get these 5 traits in line in working in our lives, what will keep it all together is the bond of peace and love. Those have been 5 traits that we can learn to help our spiritual walk. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I'll see you next time.